What's up, guys? This is Karuzu from Karuzu's Gaming and Reactions, and I'm back with a review. The Orville Season 3, Episode 1, Electric Sheep. At the risk of gushing. Are you kidding me? Let's get it.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.
Okay. So first of all, they opened the episode with a remembrance to Norm Macdonald, who passed away earlier on this year. May he rest in peace. And I thought that was a touching tribute for him. That's good. They're gonna dedicate this whole. They should. He was an incredible comedian and a pretty decent guy. So, on to the episode. I gotta tell you, this episode was fantastic, and this is not your grandpops and grandma's Orville. This is orders of magnitude different and better in every way you can think conceivable. The first two seasons were still very good, in my opinion. They made me a fan of the show, so I won't shun the first. I mean, Seth did the best he could with the parameters that he was forced to work within. This is what he really wanted to make: a space odyssey, a drama, an incredible drama. And if this first episode is any indication until what the rest of the season is going to be like, well, we're in for a heck of a ride, guys. It was incredible. This episode dealt with suicide. Suicide is a heavy subject. No matter how you approach it, it's heavy. And so just seeing how they handled it during the show was just fantastic. The characters were good. Very, very good. In this particular episode, opens with the sequence from the second season, when the Kalon was attacking. Turns out Dr. Claire Finn's son, Marcus, her oldest boy, is having nightmares referring to that battle. And so he can't sleep. And because of that, he takes sort of ill will approach towards Isaac, who doesn't seem to understand. He's studying human emotion, but he doesn't understand why people are doing what they're doing. All he does know is that his presence is bringing the entire morale of the ship down, except for a few of the officers who don't have a problem with Isaac. And it shows throughout the episode, not every single member on the ship has a problem with Isaac. Some people can work with him just fine, and they showed that in the episode. But it's dealing with suicide, and so basically Marcus is having these nightmares, and he confronts Isaac. He does some vandalism down where Isaac works, calling him a murderer. He kind of wrote murderer on his digital screen, and they found out he'd done it later. Now, there's another character who's added to the show, Miss Winter, Ann Winter. She was fantastic. A character named Charlie, and Ensign Charlie. So she's new to the ship, and she also has a grudge to bear against Isaac, as her best friend was killed aboard one of the other ships. And so she has not forgiven Isaac for it, and she doesn't like him, and also wish he was dead, and has a problem. So the way they tackle suicide with the defining argument, make it a moral argument for suicide, and also a technical argument against suicide, and what it means to everyone else when a person commits suicide. It's an incredibly heavy subject. It's an incredibly deep and thought-provoking subject to even broach, and it's risky to have something, approach a situation like this. But I just thought it was so good. And there's no way that you can watch this show and walk away and say, oh, that was a waste of my time. I don't think so. If you have an inkling of sci-fi fandom in you, then there's no way you can walk away and say something like this. This show is just incredible. I mean, it is a gift from the heavens, and I mean, I am chomping at the bit for next episode. So I'm sorry that this episode's late, by the way, but it's just incredible. And then like the build up towards it coming out June 2nd, it was just like incredible because I was watching the trailer and I was watching Talking the Orville. Speaking of which, I will link JP's channel in the description below. Gotta go check him out if you really want to get the 411. That's what we used to say in the 90s. On all informations dealing with the Orville, then JP is your guy. But I'm going to be doing reviews and recaps every single week for the Orville, and I will implore everyone to go and watch it. Don't just sit. I mean, it's on everywhere. So internationally, I will assume that it'll probably get more numbers than domestically here in the States because they got it on like all the different networks, you know, overseas. People have more options to watch it. So it's going to get seen. It's just a matter of how much. And the way people reacted to, the way the trailer, people saw the views from the main trailer, but then other people had posted the trailer on their channels and it got thousands, even hundreds of thousands of views on those channels. But it was it was close to 7 million the last time I checked. And even if a quarter of those people watched the show, that'll be enough to probably kick off a season 4. So I would implore people to not try to read too much into what the first and second season was, and really take a deep dive into the third season, because I think like the first season was the bones, and then the second season gave it a little bit of soul, and the third season is what it's supposed to be, and it's the final product of Seth MacFarlane's long-lived dream of making a sci-fi drama, an epic of this magnitude. It gives you a lot of ship porn in this episode, so a lot of the story is taking place in the space dockyard, so there are ships flying everywhere. You get to see a lot more of the ship than you would generally see, or at least that we have seen in the past in the other 2 seasons. So I think it's quite incredible that they were able to show us a lot more. It felt good. I could not look away. I could not look away. So it was just, it was incredible. It was fantastic. And you will need to go see it for yourself. I will not spoil every single detail here. Go and watch the Orville. If a guy like me is watching it, and I'm poor and, you know, living in a very poor area, I don't have, but I love this show. I love it. It's an escape for me. And it's therapeutic. It's worth pondering these issues that they're going to bring up week to week. So, in my opinion, I think that this is probably one of the greatest hours of sci-fi in history. And that's not to put too fine a point on it, but it's pretty damn close. I mean, it is nigh perfect. And that's near perfect. Okay? I don't know what else to say. I was gushing while I was watching. I mean, like, giddy. It was that good. And to tell you, Marcus' character, he's grown so much in the show. I mean, he has some real acting chops. I mean, this kid put on a performance in this first episode. I mean, he has the makeups of a very good actor, even, you know, down the line later on in his career. He's very, very good. And of course, the crew was great. And then Winter's character, Charlie, was perfect. Pitch Perfect, it was a great way to open up the season with her arc and kind of giving her a little bit of a backstory so we can kind of understand who she is, where she's coming from. They got into that right away, and they answered a lot of unanswered questions from season 2. I mean, it has been 36 months. So 3 years, basically, waiting. And so they really did fill in. And I swear, I don't feel like I missed a beat. So anyway, that's my review and recap of the Orville. If you like my review and my recap, make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe, and share. I'm Caruso from Caruso's Gaming and Reactions. We'll see you in the next one.